Greetings and salutations. This is your girl, Outspoken Diva, and welcome to Outspoken Diva Tells Your Story, where whether it's fact or fiction, I will let you know. And today we have a bit of fact. Um, we're gonna call this the Christmas Faker. Had to go over to the blog. I'll leave the link down below to talk about the year when I found out that Santa Claus is real. If you were over here and you didn't know that Santa Claus was real, my bad. Spoiler alert. Okay. But yeah, I think everybody that watches my content does know that Santa Claus is not real, right? Okay. Okay. Well, let me give y'all some backstory. Oh, I know y'all like, we're talking about Christmas and you don't have on red or green and Christmas color. No, that is very on brand for me since I was a child. Uh, that I do not wear Christmas colors, and stuff like that. That not by me. It's like on choice for me because I don't really look that great in red per se, and I don't really like the color green unless it's folded up in my purse, and I'm on my way to the bank. So yeah. But anywho, yeah, so we call this the Christmas Faker. Uh, all the signs about Santa was there. Um, my mother has finally admitted, I mean, probably about the past 10 years, uh, she had no intention on teaching us Santa Claus. But her parents beat her to the punch. And my brother is the oldest grandchild, and so my mom's oldest child is my brother. My sister, who's the oldest granddaughter, and I have two cousins, Chef and Lil P. They're brothers. Chef is a couple of hours younger than my sister. So those are my oldest first cousins, right, and then my siblings, right. And my grandparents taught them Santa Claus. So my oldest son and my mom had no choice. They were like, okay, no, we're teaching them Santa Claus. So okay, so and there's 7 years in between my sister A, and there's 10 years in between my brother, right, and me, right. So I guess my sister kind of had to fake it for a few years until I caught up and not believed in Santa Claus. All the signs were there. We don't have a chimney. We live in Texas. Our house doesn't have a chimney, a fireplace. We have gas heaters. Uh, how did Santa Claus get in the house? And my mother said that there's a special doorbell for the adults to hear him. A special doorbell? Wait. The doorbell is ringing in our house after night. I mean, in the night after like 10 o'clock, and my grandfather is okay with that. Okay, but I didn't question that. That made sense to me as a little kid. Also, Santa, we never wrote Santa a letter. Unless I maybe did it at school, but at home we did not write Santa a letter. There's these wonderful things called the JC Penney's and the Sears catalogs. Here's the JC Penney ones right here. And my mom would always come and say, have for us to point out, five things that, we would like. And she had to call Santa Claus, via the JC Penney's North Pole, so Santa would know what was on our list. She had to call him because she only knew the number. You know, all the signs were there. But I still believed in Santa Claus until I was 8, and leave it to Foundation Church. Well, not really Foundation Church. Okay, so if you don't know, if I have not said this, Foundation Church was not a church that shied away from Halloween. We celebrated Halloween up until some years. And I mean, Halloween complete with a witch. It was this elderly lady. She I mean, she was well into her 80s, and she still wore 3 and 4 inch heels. And she also had a cane, but she was the witch and stuff, and she passed out the little tickets and stuff. And then Thanksgiving, we still, drew turkeys and all that kind of stuff. And then we also were taught to, feed the homeless and all that kind of stuff. Easter, there was an Easter bunny, and Christmas there was Easter bunny, and there was Easter eggs along the side where we stood and said our speeches. And part of the one of the auxiliaries, the choir, they had an Easter egg hunt. And for Christmas, there was a Santa Claus. And after the play, Santa Claus passed out gifts, and those that were in the play, the teenagers, they helped him pass out apples, oranges, and peppermint candies in bags all over to everyone that was at the program. So, okay, no problem, right? So, how did Foundation Church mess me? Not mess me up, but tell me the truth. So, in the primary beginner class of Sunday school, um, my our regular teacher was my mom's friend. For this, we will call her Aunt Erica, and Aunt Erica was not there that Sunday. We had a substitute teacher, and we will call her Sister Kevin. Sister Kevin was a very sweet lady. She passed away. She had heart disease. She needed a transplant. I think she had a transplant. I know something with her heart. Okay, and I have to be very careful about telling this story because her nephew is a friend of mine on Facebook. And, kind of, I think he was in class with us that day. So, I'm not making fun of his aunt, but yeah. So, yeah. But, somebody in class asked the question about, or said something about Santa Claus bringing them to, and she said, no, there's no such thing as Santa Claus. Santa Claus is Jesus Christ. He gives us all our gifts. And in my 8 year old mind, this little girl right here, yeah, and my 8 year old mind, I was like, do what? Santa Claus is Jesus. And all this time, they've been teaching me Jesus and all this kind of stuff. And, all this Jesus is real and stuff. And Santa Claus is Jesus. I was like, what? So there's no Santa Claus? I'm thinking in my head, there's no Santa Claus, all this kind of stuff. And by the time I was 8, I had stopped asking those questions. So, well, maybe we'll talk about that. But, yeah, I might have already talked about that. Anywho, so this might have been like the week before Christmas. So I faked it the whole time. Whole time. Oh, and in our home, Santa Claus did not wrap our gifts. Santa Claus, we all had portions of the room that our gifts were in. My gifts, my sister's gifts, and my brother's gifts were all on the same couch, in our sections. And then Dee Dee's, my cousin Dee Dee's gifts was in this chair right here. So, and then by the time his sister came, I think her gifts were over here. They were in her own chair also. So, okay. Chloe is his sister. Uh, so, okay. So that year I was like, okay, okay. Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The next year rolls around. If y'all have not figured out, Outspoken Diva is a smart mouth kid. Okay. At 9 years old, Outspoken Diva's mouth, oh, it was slick. Okay. So I smarted off and told Madiva about there was no Santa Claus and blah 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 blah, and Sister Kevin. And my mom thought that Sister Kevin was a little weird. She had no. Why were they letting Sister Kevin talk to children, that kind of thing? But she was like, oh, okay, there's no Santa Claus, okay. And da. I had smarted off about, I don't even know why people da. And she clamped my lips like, be quiet. Okay, okay, Santa Claus is not real. So, what is this about me pointing out stuff for Santa Claus to bring you via JC Penney's? And like that, I smarted off and said, "You just calling JC Penney's like you do all our other stuff." Christmas Day rolls around. There is nothing on that couch for me. Not a thing. Got all like everybody's passed out gifts. I got all my gifts from everyone else. My grandparents, my aunts, uncles, all that kind of stuff. Got all those gifts. Did not get a thing from Medieval or a thing from Santa Claus. All of a sudden, everybody's cleaned up, cleared up everything. And mom's like, oh, yeah. Medieval was like, come here. Santa Claus came by. He said he couldn't not see you get a gift. So here's your stuff, even though he says you don't believe in him anymore. Now she probably teamed up with Granny and Papa and hid my gifts somewhere else, way else, right? Because everything was in a gift bag. Mediva's style of wrapping, like I said, So, and all my gifts, I had this doll called a Maxie doll and some books. On my clothing, my clothes and stuff. So yeah, stop smarting off about Santa Claus, And after that, yeah, we had the come to Jesus meeting about, okay, it's not saying okay, so point out everything you want so I can order it, So she didn't have to keep putting up this facade about Santa. So, but yeah, Sister Kevin was yeah, she wasn't wrong about per se about Jesus being Santa Claus, okay? Even though you don't tell kids that, okay? Especially, these are not your children, okay? I wonder what she told her son. She had a son. He passed away also, but yeah. But she wasn't wrong. I mean, Jesus is the reason for the season. It is not about really Santa Claus. Santa Claus is just a representation of God's love, of the kindness that we should share, and the miracles and the gifts that we bring. We give to each other, giving of ourselves. To others. And that's why Christ came. That's why Jesus Christ came for us in human form. He was God, and he grows up to become a man who gives his life for us. He rises again 3 days, but he gave his life. That is a wonderful gift. No greater love than a man to give his life for his friends. And yeah, I am glad I am one of his friends. So, yeah, this holiday season, remember that, okay? Like I said, Kirk Franklin wrote the song, Jesus is the reason for the season. He's not wrong either, okay? So that's what it's about. It's about Christ's birthday. So, yeah. As he said, his Santa Claus ain't got nothing on this. He does not. So, yeah. So, yeah. That is the story, The Christmas Faker. And, or, when Outspoken Diva stopped believing in Santa Claus. Okay, yeah. Let me know below how old were you when you stopped believing in Santa Claus. So yeah, or is this the first time you're ever hearing about this Santa Claus business? Not Santa Claus not being real business. Let me know down below in the comments on the social media site that you see this on, except Facebook. Facebook, you leave them down below on YouTube, or shoot me an email at the email address down below. Okay. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and yeah, as always, talking to you in adult terms.